What is going on, collectors? Hopefully you guys were able to get everything you wanted for Christmas on that Christmas list, but I'm gonna add one more thing to that list, and that's gonna be James's top 10 for 18 scale. And when it comes to this top 10, it's actually not this or this, and not even this. Well, let's figure out what that is starting right now. One quick note about this video, I'm just doing it a little bit differently and testing out a new camera that I got. I've got all 10 cars spread out across my garage. I apologize in advance for the mess, and we're gonna see each and every single one of them and visit every single location. So let's start with number 10. Okay, so we are making our way to number 10. Here it is. We've got the top speed models, RX-7 Super Silhouette, Liberty Walk version in black. So the significance of this model is that this is one of their very first models that released with this body kit and in real life. Glenn and the gang making it in 18 scale, doing justice by taking advantage of all the detail work that you can with this scale. And then you've got the Liberty Walk here, which is actually supposed to be a Coca-Cola logo, but Glenn replaced that with the Liberty Walk logo because he's a stand-up guy and he doesn't want to step on the toes of the Coca-Cola licensing. And when you roll over to the front, you can see that it does have some Porsche aesthetics, maybe looking kind of like a slant nose type of style. So inside, he's also got the roll cage, the bucket seats. So number 10 is gonna be the top speed models, Mazda Super Silhouette, Liberty Walk, RX-7. All right, so let's move on to number 9, guys. Number 9 is actually a pretty epic model and something of a little bit of a surprise from my normal run of the mill, especially when it comes to my JDM stuff, but this one definitely we need to pay some respects to. And coming in at number 9 underneath Broly here, we have the one and only Spark Models 18 scale Porsche Pegasus. This actually comes with a nice acrylic display and this solid gray base. Nothing fancy, but a lot of it is made up on the details of the car, obviously. And as you can see, this is the 1400 horsepower Porsche that was put together for the Pikes Peak hill climb. And as far as the exterior goes, the graphics were done by Gucci Ghost, and it has a little bit of the Pink Pig throwback to it. But he's got his own little take of graphics put in there just to kind of put his own taste to it. On the inside, you can see a little bit of the detail, maybe not too well, but everything is here to accurately represent this in 18 scale. As you can see, the massive diffuser, the cut bumper, the massive wing, as you can see right here. And then you've got these center lock wheels, the aftermarket brakes, rotors, calipers, this insane front diffuser is all here, and some of the sponsorship decals you can see located on the body as well. So this is definitely a one of a kind and something that did make my list. But let's move on to number 8. All right, guys, so number 8, let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is gonna be back here against the wall again where that RX-7 was, but this one was a bit of a surprise and something that I never knew would even exist, to be honest. But let's take a look right here. Number 8 is gonna be the Ignition Model Zero Fighter Special Event Model from Ignition Model. Now this one, as you can see, it's already coming with this special little engine right here. So a lot of these special event models coming with this 18 scale engine, and then obviously the model car itself right here. The one thing I would say about this is that this one faithfully represents the Zero Fighter Performance Shop located in Nara, Japan. These guys are pretty much OGs in the game. You've got some Enki RPF1s here. You can even see some details with the window net there, which is pretty awesome. So the number 53 car was part of the Suzuka Clubman Race Series. You can see that the exterior body kind of represents the Kanjo style of Civics that we're used to seeing on some EGs, EKs, and EFs. It also has a nice lowered stance, which Ignition Model is always known for doing. But this is one that is in my personal collection, and you can see on the window it's got Daisuke on there, which is one of the brothers that owns this car. So this thing looks absolutely fantastic, I think. And an interesting detail on the back even, you see this little hook here on the hatch. That's so that they can quickly release it, get in there and mess with the fuel cell that's in the back of the hatch there. Little interior bits in there as well. Steering wheel, bucket seats, fully stripped. But number 8 is gonna be this Ignition Model for me. So let's move on to number 7. Okay, so we are now moving on to number 7, and number 7 is also going to be an ignition model unit, but this one was also very clean and one of my favorites. So let's take a look right here. This one is going to be the ignition model Honda Civic EF9. This is the Gritty edition, and some of you guys might be familiar with this one because this is the one owned by Mr. Kenji Sumino himself. As you can see, it's got the stance, it's got the decal here, it's got the Mugen wheels. This thing is looking stellar. And I believe there's also a Hot Wheels version of this that does exist already. And you can see on the inside, it's fully gutted. 2 bucket seats, as it should. Take a look at the rear end. You can see the spoiler, the SRR logo, tail lights, the wiper, everything is there. But one of his personal builds, and actually not the only one on the list that he owns, believe it or not. There's actually another one that's gonna be coming up in my top 10 list. But number 7 is gonna be the ignition model Honda Civic EF9 Gritty Edition. And now we are moving on to number 6, and number 6 is going to be a new brand contender here on the list. We are gonna be moving on to Ino models. Ino models sometimes coming out with 18 scale stuff, and this is going to be one example from them. And I think it's no surprise that this one made the list, so let's check it out right here. This is going to be the Ino Models Ferrari F40 with the infamous Liberty Walk kit. Now, this one actually has been removed from its base, but this also comes with a really nice base that has the graffiti art on the bottom of it. It comes with an acrylic case. Look at all the details on this freaking thing. It's absolutely stunning and amazing. It's even got the Japanese red dot, which was super controversial for the smaller scale stuff. But you can see the wheels set up there, the ultra wide fender flares. Let's take a look at the rear end here. Look at that. Got the diffuser, tail lights, spoiler, and believe it or not, it's also got some engine bay details here, which is actually really nice. The car was debuted at Tokyo Auto Salon in 2023. So it was only a matter of time before this thing actually became a scale version of it. And I think I'm right in saying that even Ferrari themselves didn't really condone this build. They were like, hey, we don't want anything to do with this thing, so don't even call it a Ferrari anymore. But in true Liberty Walk fashion, they really don't care about all that stuff. They're gonna do whatever the heck they want to do. So the purists were angry, and this thing looks absolutely stunning. So let me know if this one actually made it on y'all's list somewhere. It was number 6 for me, but we are almost at the halfway point, so let's go on to number 5. All right, guys, so we have finally made it to number 5, and number 5 is a brand that I don't talk a lot about here on this channel, but they make works of art. So number 5 for me is going to be this beautiful little piece. This is going to be the Makeup Co Nismo LMGT road car. This is the Nissan Skyline R33 outfitted with that ultra wide body kit. This thing coming with a nice suede white base, but Makeup Co making this absolutely stunning little work of art. This is only one in the whole world in terms of the car existing in real life. This is the one-off Group N spec 400 horsepower road car that Nissan built back in the day, in the glory days. Wow, you can see inside. Check out those checkered seats. Love it. It even has back seats here. But you can see here the wheels, the nice Nismo center lock wheels. 3-piece, you can see the nameplate here from Makeup Co, keeping it legit. The ultra wide body is the dead giveaway that this is that road car. I think this is just an epic piece that Makeup Co uses or has used to showcase their power when it comes to making resin model cars. Makeup Co definitely not a brand to be messed with when it comes to their meticulous craftsmanship and detail work. So number 5 is going to be the Nismo GTR LM road car. Now that we've covered number 5, I think we're ready to move on to number 4. And number 4 is actually from the same brand, Makeup Co, but let's take a look at it over here. And number 4 is actually going to be the Makeup Co built by Legends R33. That's right, we've got another R33 in the mix here, but this one has a very special story to it. So this was their very first build that they did in collaboration with Garage Yoshida Nissan and themselves trying to tackle on this project. But here you can see the green on the front carbon fiber. You've got some nice little BBS wheels, the Mines deco there. It's got some nice slotted brakes. And then in the back, you can see the Built by Legends green spoiler, which is one of their signatures here. But just like that road car, you can see that it comes with this nice white suede. All the makeup codes also come with acrylic cases. And this was the perfect restoration project, paying homage to obviously the Mines R34 Skyline. But I think Makeup Co has done an incredible job with the lineup of cars that they've released in the past and making sure that they delve into the area of high precision and high detail. But number 4 is definitely going to be this Makeup Co Built by Legends Mines R33 Skyline. All right guys, we're down to our last 3 and number 3 is actually going to be right over here next to my car, so let's take a look. And number 3 is also going to be Kenji's car. This is the Greddy R33 Skyline. Some of you guys may know this because this is a bit of an OG car. This is a faithful replication to the car that exists in real life in Kenji's garage. There's a lot of history with this car in the Japanese community, especially within the Skyline community, but they've got a lot of detail in this thing. So they've got the Hive front intercooler there. They've got the body kit on here. This is when wild body kits and pearl paint jobs were all the rage. So I don't know if you can see it, but this does have a blue pearl type of paint job to it. You can see the insides all yellowed out, just like in the 90s car build era. It's got that blue steering wheel there to match the exterior. You've got these sweet 3-piece wheels on here, front and back, with the aftermarket brakes and rotors. And then on the rear here, you've got this sweet double-decker spoiler, which is actually really awesome. I love Ricer stuff, sorry guys. But this is an awesome replica to have in an 18 scale and something that is in my personal collection, much like all the other ones, of course. But this was more built to be a drag car, if not mistaken, because a lot of the things that were going on back in the day was drag racing. So number 3 on my list is going to be the Greddy R33 Nissan Skyline. All right, so number 2 is actually gonna be right here next to my computer, and this is gonna be the Makeup Co again with the BBS version of the R34 Nissan Skyline. This is the Mines version, of course. Another iconic car within the Japanese community. This thing looks freaking wicked. You can see some of the details right here on the side. Check out those BBS magnesium wheels, guys. Here's a shot of the rear with the green carbon fiber. This is the car that even Kiichi Tsuchiya said that it can bring the dead back to life. This is the BBS version, and some of you guys may know that there was a Volk racing wheel version of it as well. But the one to have in 18 scale is gonna be this iconic little work of art. So again, nice white suede here. You got the plaque right there, and then you've got all the Mines details right here. So this was also done in collaboration with Built by Legends as well. Ooh, you can see some of the green going on the canards here and the side view mirror right there. And who can forget the iconic blue steering wheel right there? But this thing is an absolute work of art and probably my favorite piece in all my collection, except for, of course, number 1, which is going to be coming up right after this. So let me know if this is one that made your list. So number 2 on the list is going to be the Built by Legends Mines Nissan Skyline. All right guys, so number 2 was pretty epic, right? But number 1 is going to be the one that takes the cake. So let me walk on over here to the back of my car and show you guys what number 1 is. And number 1 is gonna be the AutoArt MP46 with the McLaren logo, as you can see right here. This came in of 2 different styles, the one without and the one with. So this is gonna be an accurate representation of Ayrton Senna's Japanese GP winter car in 1991. And this is probably an iconic car for a lot of fans of whether it be Honda or Senna himself. But let me show you guys, because there's a couple of components that actually you can remove off of this. This part can be removed, and I believe this front section can be removed as well. So let's see if we can take that apart right now. As you can see, the back portion with the cockpit is lifting up, and it's a little bit tricky to get that off because you gotta slide it out, and then you can see, check out all that. And now that this body part has been removed, you can actually put that on a stand that it comes with. And then here you can see all the details of the engine. That's the V12 Honda engine, which I've never heard in real life, but I'm sure it's a joy on those eardrums. And then you can even remove this section here, showing off the individual throttle bodies right there. And then you can see the cockpit here. And then right here, I believe this can also be removed. Let's see if we can remove it here. You can just slide it forward. There you go. You can show off some of the suspension there, some of the nose area. And then these are all the components that can be removed. So AutoArt sparing no expense when it comes to this detail. And I'm sure some of the fans of AutoArt have moved on because AutoArt has moved on to composite stuff and not metal diecast bodies anymore. But this is surely one for the books, and definitely one that made it to my top 1 list. That's gonna do it for my list in 2024. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Did I miss some? Did I have some that aligned with what you thought? What did you think about my number 1? Let me know down in the comment section below. I think 2024 was a banger of a year yet again for premium model car collectors. There was a lot that I couldn't fit into this video. I mean, I could have gone to probably 20 different types, but unfortunately I had to narrow it down and pick my favorites. Well, that wraps me up for 2024, and I hope I see you guys next year in 2025.